Hey everybody, it's your boy Tim Pool here, and today we're going to be watching a Prager video. Now, I want everyone to guess what this video is going to be about based on the title. Dating, don't waste your time. Is it going to be about how women need to find a man and get married to become happy? Is it going to be about how the evil SJW-ness of the liberals and the left need to go away? Is it going to be about the cultural degeneracy of the left? Well, it's anyone's guess. Let's begin.
Women, here's a revolutionary idea. Date with a purpose. What
Sure.
purpose? Getting married. Whoa,
Maybe?
am I moving
If that's what you want?
too fast for you? Making you uncomfortable? Dating, you say, is just, well, dating. You know, hookups, casual flings, having fun. Yeah?
No.
Who
What?
said so? Don't get me wrong, I'm all for fun, but I'm
Who
interested
said
in
that?
something deeper here. Like,
Does anyone think that that's what dating is? No. I mean, dating it can be a lot of things. It can be casual hookups and flings and whatnot, but it also can be things a lot more serious. This is a really weird straw man.
happiness. I'm certainly not saying that marriage should be the first topic of conversation. At least wait until the pizza is served. Just kidding. But I am saying that you need to ask yourself this question. Why do you want to go on a date with someone? Physical attraction?
Maybe.
That's important. Common interest in something? Also important.
Yeah.
But what else? Let's face it, most of the time we, and by we here I'm referring to women, have no idea. We have no plan. That's okay as far as it goes, but as far as it goes is not very far and frankly not very smart.
What? I'm genuinely confused a minute into this video. Also, guys don't really know what they're doing. I don't think anyone really knows what they're doing when it comes to relationships, at least in the beginning. I personally think that you need to allow a relationship to develop, and if getting married is something that you want to do, then that is the next logical step. If it's not, then don't. It's about what you want. It's about what you think is going to make you happy. Because people should be allowed to pursue the things that they want, that they think is going to make them happy.
But let's
Really
play
that
out the
simple.
scenario. We too often assume that relationships have levels of commitment, progressing, if they progress at all, like video games. A hookup is level 1, dating is level 2, level 3 living together, and then, after we've had those, maybe we're ready for marriage.
This is a really weird depiction of a video game. Also, this isn't really how people perceive relationships, is it?
But in fact, relationships usually don't progress that way. Hookups
No, obviously not.
arise out of whim, impulse, or simple attraction. Dating is often based on compatibility or convenience, and sometimes on the hope that something serious might develop.
Yeah.
Living together may be based
or like fun, right? People get in relationships because they enjoy like company and don't want to be alone. Like that's like probably a real big reason for relationships.
on real love and a tryout for marriage, but it can also be based on less serious considerations like lack of other opportunities, desire for a roommate, or the inability to afford a single apartment.
Not really. Those last two especially. Like what? If you can't find a roommate, you're not just gonna be like, well, I'm gonna get into a relationship, because then if that other person was doing the same thing that you were doing, you would just be roommates at that point. No?
But marriage is a different enterprise entirely. Those looking for a good marriage are looking for someone who wants to build a shared life. They're looking for someone who shares their values and beliefs, moral, political, and, where applicable, religious. They view each other not only as a partner, but as something even more profound, husband and wife. The problem with so many dating relationships is that people enter them with completely different understandings of what the ideal outcome should be. He wants X and she wants Y, and it's easy to get distracted and fooled by
Okay, so yeah, first of all, you should be extremely upfront in what you want out of a social interaction before that continues on very long. Because you don't want to waste anyone's time and you don't want the other person to waste your time. So if you guys are not looking for the same thing, then you probably should go find someone who's looking for the same thing that you're looking for. Unless, which I think is probably the case for most people, you don't really know what you're looking for, which is fine. Just kind of stumble around until you find what you're looking for. That's also a thing that you can do. But second, when you put a blue X and a pink Y in front, like above as like what they desire, I'm thinking that they're both gay. I don't know why. It's just like blue X means boy, I guess, in my head, and pink Y means girl. So I don't know. This is just a really goofy choice of animation.
superficial compatibility.
Also, I'm digging this guy's sideburns.
They're thrilled they both like kombucha, kayaking, and karaoke on the weekends. That's all great, but when do you get down to the stuff that really matters over the long run? Stuff like marriage, family, faith, and value.
these aren't, I mean, like, for most of those, like family, faith, and values, you learn across or like over the course of the relationship. No? Marriage is something that will happen or won't happen, I guess. But no, you should, especially with marriage, you should probably be very upfront. Hey, I kind of want to get married. Oh, hey, I kind of don't. Well, let's look for different people then, because we're obviously not going to be compatible. But like values, faith, and family are not things that you just really bring up right at the very start. It's something that you learn over the course of the relationship.
Use. I say the sooner the better. If a relationship looks like it has a future, talk about it early on. And if it doesn't look like it has a future, what are you doing in it? I have no doubt the reason so many women get stuck in dead-end relationships is that it has become taboo, or to be precise, not politically correct, for a
What?
woman to articulate what she really wants.
What? No, like, unless you're talking about how all women have this deep desire to just get married, and that's not politically correct. Like, I don't know. You really shouldn't harass people, or like more specifically women who just want to get married and be a stay-at-home mom because they're indulging in their traditionalist society. But guess what? Some people actually want that. You shouldn't discourage them, but also you shouldn't discourage people who want to go into certain fields, because that's also pretty shitty. It's both shitty for people to kind of convince other people to not do what they want to do. Yeah, but I'm assuming that that's what she's talking about with this like weird SJW liberalness. But I don't know.
Which takes me back to marriage and why women crave it. Here are 3 reasons: protection, commitment, love.
Yeah, and this is another really weird framing to be like, this is why women crave marriage. Well, I mean, protection, I don't really know what that means. Do you really look for a partner who is going to be able to protect you from the evil immigrants or whatever these people believe? Commitment, yeah, that's not really a reason to get married. That's just a cause of marriage, I guess. And then love, yeah, that's a reason to get married. Um, I don't know, a lack of loneliness, not having to die alone, finding someone that you actually enjoy spending time with. Like, these are all like legitimate reasons to get married. But just for protection, commitment, like, these are kind of dumb. No?
Nothing wrong with wanting those things. It is something women have
No,
wanted
absolutely
and
not.
great
There's nothing wrong
societies
with
have
that.
valued for thousands of years. It is something men still want too. Little wonder
Yeah, but like this is a really weird framing that you're talking to women when these are like pretty universal things that people like look for.
study after study shows that those in good marriages are happier, healthier, even wealthier than those who are not.
In good marriages, because actually it's not marriage that makes people happy, it's happy marriages that make you happy. People in unhappy marriages experience a spike in happiness once the marriage is dissolved. Huh. Also, having children makes people, men and women, less happy. And money is also a pretty big predictor in happiness. So these like memes that all women need to do is just get married and then they'll become happy is kind of just a lie. Not saying that you can't get married and that can't make you happy, because it definitely can, but that's not something you should go and rush and go to find. That's something that it takes time in a lot of cases. You need to find the person that you are compatible with or whatnot, or you are somewhat compatible with, to get married. You can't just go and find someone that wants to get married too, and you're both are going to be happy because you have a family now and are married, because 50% of marriages are not happy marriages at the end of them, because they do end in divorce. And even marriages that don't end in divorce can also be unhappy marriages.
Like anything you want, you have to work toward it. And anything that isn't moving you toward your goal is a waste of time. What's the
Yeah,
difference?
but if your goal is not to get married, then this video is kind of irrelevant. This is like a pro-marriage video towards women. It's kind of like made for women, at least it's what it seems. Yeah, this is kind of like contrary to what you believe, I guess.
Difference between living with someone and marriage? It's the difference between referring to the man in your life as my boyfriend, significant other, or partner, and referring to him as my husband, and him
To me, that's not that big of a difference. Just saying.
referring to you as my wife,
My
as compared with
wife.
my girlfriend. Ask anyone who has taken the plunge and they'll tell you, living together and marriage have little in common. It's
I don't think this is true. I think that they have some in common, and they are somewhat different, but to say that they have little in common is kind of dumb to me.
sort of like the difference between living in a country and being a citizen of that country. The latter, with its commitments, obligations, and expectations, means
Commitments, obligations, and expectations all come in a serious committed relationship. that they are not married in. What are you talking about?
A lot
This is
more.
so dumb.
To someone who tells you that a marriage license is trivial, just a piece of paper, here's a good response. If it's just a piece of paper, why are you so reluctant to sign it? The answer,
Because it's still a social commitment. Also, there are some legal aspects to getting married. Like, this is also a really dumb point.
of course, is that no one believes that it's trivial.
Wait, what? Dog, she just set up a straw. She was like, hey, how come people think that marriage is just a marriage certificate? It's because no one believes in that. She just set up her own straw man and then just acknowledged that it was a straw man. What just happened? Is this real? Is this real life?
Everyone knows it's the most important decision you'll ever make, so treat it that way.
It's one of the most important decisions you'll ever make, but I would argue that having children, starting a family outside of getting married is a bigger decision than getting married. Some career opportunities or career choices are bigger decisions than getting married. Right? Like, marriage is a pretty big decision, but it's not the biggest decision that you'll ever make.
Here's a good rule of thumb. Think about the kind of relationship you want as much as you think about the kind of career you want. I'm not anti-career, I'm just pro-relationship.
Well, if you are someone who values relationships higher than your career, then yes, you should probably put more effort into building a better or a good relationship more so than your career. And vice versa, if your career is the thing that you care about more so than relationships. It's really not that complicated. Listen, whatever you think is going to make you happy, fucking pursue it. Do it. Go get it. I believe in you. But if you don't know, then that's also fine. Find something that makes you happy and do it. If that's marriage, then power to you. Good for you. If it's not, also good for you. Also power to you. Cool. And like, marriage is not something that you need to do. It's not a requirement for happiness. And in fact, it can actually be a detriment to your happiness as well.
Specifically, pro-marriage, because when you get it right, that's the best relationship there is, and it starts with the first date.
So when you get it right, and marriage is a very hard thing to get right in a lot of cases. So if you can't get it right, then it's not going to make you happy. If you can get it right, it is going to make you happy. But it's something that takes time and takes effort and takes work. And it's also something that even if you get it right, can still make you miserable. So bottom line, end of the story, or moral of the story is, don't listen to her when she tells you to get married, unless it's something that you want to do. But then you're not listening to her, you're listening to yourself. You should probably listen to yourself because only you truly know what's going to make you happy. And even then, not really. Opposed to her, who wants to get married, who thinks that getting married and having a family and whatnot is going to make her happy. And if that's the case, then good. I'm glad that Romy Millennial is going to be happy. Lauren Chen will be happy raising a family and being married and all that fun stuff. But if that's not what you want to do, if that's not your dreams or desires, then don't pursue that. Don't listen to her because she found what makes her happy, because that's not going to be the case for you necessarily. It can, but also might not be. It's a pretty simple moral. Do what you want because it's your life. Pursue the things that make you happy. But anyway, stay breezy, stay cheesy. Till next time, peace, y'all.